Garron Noone, Mr. Delicious, has just broken his silence in a video he uploaded to his social media about 20 minutes ago. Of course, he was basically cancelled, or he removed himself from the internet, from all social media platforms for the last few days, just to kind of let the heat settle down after he caused a massive stir in the whole country, okay, for his, sort of viewpoints on immigration and that whole debate that's happening right now. In my personal opinion, the guy was based. He said absolutely nothing wrong. You guys watched the last video I put up about it. Completely 100% above board. I obviously back Garron 100%. I mean, it's pretty much mainstream news now to have that opinion that he had. I don't think anyone would disagree with that opinion that he had. But of course, there's still people on the liberal, woke, DEI, of course, Marxist side that want to just see people crash and burn like this massive superstar that Garron is. Okay, he has like 3.4 million followers across all his platforms, so he's back now after taking a little break. Let's hear from it. 10-minute long video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this one again. And yeah, let's see what he says.
Hello, how are you getting on? I'm back. This is the last time I'm going to discuss this particular topic. I really want to get back to do what I like to do, which is just having the crack. But I needed to take a few days away. There was a lot of stuff happening online, as I'm sure many of you know.
Oh yeah.
And I just couldn't stop myself, looking at it and engaging with it, and it wasn't productive for me. And I think anything I said in response to it would have been, purely based on emotion and just not productive. So
True.
I decided that the best thing to do was to just remove myself from it for a little while and clear my head. Before I get into this, and
obviously, guys, he had that interview on the Late Late Show recently, a few months ago, where he basically talks about he didn't leave his house for 5 years, massive anxiety. And I think it's a government thing, guys. I think they said, we're going to pull the rug on this guy, we're going to pull all your funding, we're going to pull all your money if you don't relax with these opinions. Because obviously it was trending #1 topic on Twitter, X. It was massive. It was like the biggest news story in the country for the last 3 days. So
anyway, I'm just going to let you know there's going to be probably a lot of pausing in this video. I want to make sure I'm very specific in what I say, because goodness knows I have learned that it can go very wrong if you're not extremely specific about what you say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the thing about saying nuanced topics. He literally said in the video he'd have to talk about 40 minutes on immigration, 30 minutes on the government, etc., etc. Very, very nuanced topics these are, guys, okay? So, but he was just trying to give his general outview, and I mean, it just created a shitstorm in the country.
The first thing I want to say is just a massive thank you to everybody for their support, for all the people who made such an effort to reach out to me. I mean, people were offering me to stay in their B&Bs and their homes and their hotels if I needed to clear my head.
Wow.
The generosity that I experience from people is just incredible. There's, like, what I've always known to be true is people have just such beautiful, caring souls, and I've seen so much of that this week. Not only from Irish people, but from people who had immigrated to the country. It was just absolutely just incredible to see, and I really, 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 truly appreciate every single person who did not have to reach out to me, who did not have to try and be supportive. You're absolutely incredible people. Thank you so much.
And everybody agrees with you on that point. Legal immigrants agree with him on that point. Okay, everyone, Irish people, legal people, everyone agrees on that point with you on that point. Okay, that's why he's saying immigrants reached out to him. Everyone agreed with him, guys. Every single person,
Second group of people I want to thank is anybody who disagreed with me in good faith, was trying to put information out there, who felt that what I said was wrong to say, outlined why they felt that it was wrong to say, and tried to further information that people have. The last thing I want to do is paint people out who disagreed with what I said, or even people who disagreed that I should have said it. The last thing I want to do is paint those people in a negative light. That's exactly what I was trying to say in the videos. We should be able to have conversations about these things, and I think that's tremendously valuable. So fair play to you as well. I was sent some videos that were critical of what I said. I thought they put good information out there. So yeah, I do want to take some accountability here. While I think that most people, seemingly to me, did understand what I was trying to get across in the video, I do think some of my points were too vague. I think they were too open to interpretation, and it's clear to me from the people that did it, enough people did misinterpret it, that it's clear to me that I definitely could have communicated it better, and that is 100% on me.
You know, you could say that, you could take that from two different ways. In my personal opinion, guys, I'm a professional, like I said before, so I analyze things very carefully, and like a professional, you know, stupid people and obviously the top-down leadership guys, let's say the higher-ups, the very, very higher-ups that are above the Late Late Show, the government officials, they obviously didn't like it, because everybody else, even on the left and the right, agreed with him. You know, it was just these liberal, like I said already, these people disagreed with him.
And I absolutely should be held accountable for that. I have a very large platform, and the things I say get out to a lot of people, and if they're poorly communicated, people absolutely should criticise me now, then, and they should criticise me in the future for that. I think that's absolutely tremendously important. Now, I'm sure a lot of you seen the Twitter threads, the personal attacks, people calling me a racist, misinterpreting what I was saying.
I don't know how people could call him a racist. There was nothing racial about it, guys. Like, this is the stupidity of, like I said, this sort of liberal agenda, guys. I mean, they're pushing this agenda. It's like a death cult. They're just nothing to do with anything. Like, how would he be? What has race got to do with? Race has got nothing to do with this. What the hell?
I'm sure a lot of you seen the Twitter threads, the personal attacks, people calling me a racist, misinterpreting what I was saying, trying to make me out to be a fascist, and all the worst things that you can say about a person, saying that I was anti-immigrant, things that are just absolutely not true at all.
What?
There was some attempts even to edit my Wikipedia page to say that I was aligning myself with the far right and that I was anti-immigrant.
What?
And I can assure you that my DMs were full of that stuff as well. Now, the stuff people were saying about...
You guys are lame. If you guys were DMing a man on social media, you guys are losers. Whoever was doing that shit to insult this guy, just complete nobodies. You will never be as famous as this guy. You will be forever nobodies. You understand?
My appearance, I think people are just jealous, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. They're just jealous of him. They said they were mocking his appearance, these ad hominem attacks, the same sort of attacks they did to Conor McGregor as he was trying to, you know, become president. You know, obviously two different types of people right there, Garron and Conor McGregor, but the same thing applies, guys. People are just jealous of your success, you know? Hopefully I can be on the pedestal one day where people are jealous of my success, but that's yet to be determined, okay? But truth be told, guys, you'll never meet a hater that's doing better than you, ever. It's just not even possible.
And I'm sure some of you seen some of the far right people who were misappropriating what I was saying and trying to use it to bolster their own agenda, which was obviously absolutely horrifying to me and the last thing that I would want. Though I do think some of the assertions people were making that I was a far right poster boy or that they were all behind me, I think that was really overblown and kind of a hysterical reaction. There was plenty of far right people who, you know, were like, he's not saying what I really think. He should be saying this, and that. They know they don't agree with me on almost everything. I just want to clear up some of the...
That's a good point. I mean, you know, immigration is a really nuanced topic. If you're, like, people are saying this fascist guy, this right-wing, super right-wing guy, I don't really know what that term even means, or it dictates. That's sort of a lefty talking term. But, yeah, I mean, people disagree on the immigration topic, so they wouldn't be aligned with him politically on that, so much so. But for a very nuanced topic, he was talking sense, guys. I mean, let's be honest, he was talking sense. And, you know, I hope he doesn't try and deny it in this video. I think one of the comments said he doesn't, which is good, but let's carry on and see what happens.
Conspiracy theories about me, you know, being shut down by the Borg or that my account was taken down. What happened is while most people understood what I was saying, while most people were perfectly respectful, there was a very large backlash. It got very personal. People were trying to completely misrepresent what I was saying. I found that to be very upsetting, very hard to look at. I had never experienced anything on that scale before. People are negative about me all the time. I'm used to that. But, you know, to have, you know, very large groups of people misappropriating what I was saying, to have very large groups of people, you know, making out that I have some of the worst beliefs that I can possibly think of, it was difficult. So what were people misrepresenting about what I was saying? First of all, I never said that I was anti-immigration. I honestly don't know where people even got that. I never aligned myself with Conor McGregor and said that I agreed with everything he said or anything even close to that. In fact, I said the opposite. I never said that immigrants are criminals or that immigrants are making our crime rate shoot to all-time highs. I never said any of this stuff. I never said that, you know, immigrants were coming into the country and causing the crime rate to skyrocket. I never said anything about crime rates, and I never said anything about immigrants causing that or anything like that. What I said is that the towns and the cities are becoming much less safe. And I believe that to be true. Some people were quoting CSO statistics and saying that crime has gone down, and many types of crime have gone down. Some types of crime have risen slightly. That's not the primary thing that I'm thinking about, though. There's a lot of antisocial behaviour being unaddressed. There's a lot of problems with drugs. The types of drugs have changed. There's many factors to why people feel things are getting much more unsafe. And also some of these problems were typically only present in Dublin, and we're starting to see them in other places in Ireland. But that is not an implication. Now, you can disagree with that, but it's not misinformation.
I don't think it's misinformation at all, guys. You got to be a fool to think that crime hasn't completely drastically skyrocketed. Now, the CSO statistics, it's done by surveys, okay? Now, obviously, they have the Gardaí involved in those statistics. It's actual statistics, but some of the crime has gone down. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, whatever. I think it was like petty theft went down like 3%. But like all the other crime went up, skyrocketed. There was 7 stabbings in 7 weeks in Ireland, with a few deaths with Babatunde and all this stuff. You can't deny that this is true facts that's happening, guys. I mean, we see it on the news with our own eyes. This is mainstream news, so you can't really deny that. You know what I mean? But for him to say that it's not increased with immigration, doesn't increase. I mean, yeah, but this is the whole talking point. Like, you have people coming in that aren't being checked. Okay, like I said before, people come in all the time. Immigration is gonna always happen. You know what I mean? Unless it's gonna be like Japan, where it's like 99% Japanese people. But for the most part, this sort of influx and sort of movement of people is always gonna happen in the world. I mean, unless you completely shut down the borders, but this sort of idea that crime doesn't increase with more people, I mean, it absolutely does, guys. It has to. That's not even a flipping talking point. And from random people coming in with no passports, there's no background checks on people. That's a dangerous game they're playing, and it has turned out to be, it does increase over time. Whether that's the population or the people coming in, I mean, you can't really deny that, guys. You know what I mean? So, I don't know what he's gonna say here, but definitely, having just people with no background checks or no passports, that's gonna lead to some bad shit, guys. There could be sleeper cells. God knows who's coming in. They may be perfectly safe people, but crime has absolutely risen in this country for sure, guys. Like this, you gotta be a clown to not think that it hasn't.
There's perfectly reasonably a case to be made for that. It's something that a lot of people feel. And I also think we have to talk about these things, because you've got Conor McGregor saying things like Dublin has gone from being one of the safest cities in Europe to being one of the most dangerous.
Yep.
That is not an accurate statement. And the problem is that when we're not talking about what people are feeling, what people are seeing, what people are concerned about, you allow people to hijack the conversation and drive it up into that hysterical level where you're saying it's one of the most dangerous things and blah, blah, blah. But people do have legitimate concerns about things.
So Dublin absolutely was one of the safest places in the world in 2004, and that is a pretty accurate statement. In 2024, statistics show it's one of the most dangerous places in Europe, guys. Absolutely. There's been so many stabbings, assaults. One of the most dangerous places, not for murders maybe, okay? There has been a lot of murders in Dublin, but definitely for violent crime, robberies. It's not, crime is broken down into different categories, you understand? So again, it's very nuanced. So it may not be one of the most dangerous places like flipping El Salvador or like Tijuana in Mexico, where there's like gang cartels running around with chainsaws and killing people, but it definitely is violent crime and like robberies and like house robberies and shit like that, guys, right? Absolutely. That's just CSO statistics. You can check them out yourselves. It's all online. Just Google it.
And those concerns are fine to have. I also feel like a lot of the time these conversations can become very centred around Dublin, and there are lots of communities outside Dublin that have concerns that are different, and resources and things like that, they're very differently managed outside of Dublin, and those things need to be respected. And I do think that a lot of communities are just not being properly communicated with. Their voices aren't being heard. They're being told that their concerns are irrelevant. And listen, you can think they are, you can think they're not. But what I'm saying, and what I was saying in the video, is that denying the reality that people have these concerns is leaving a massive vacuum open for people like Conor McGregor to come in and occupy and spread messages that I know you don't want him to spread.
So what he's saying there is basically, the EU paying the Irish government millions, billions to take, 10,000 people from East Timor or some random remote Zimbabwe, just completely, places in the middle of nowhere, like somewhere in Southeast Pacific Asia, somewhere in, like South Sudan, taking people from like really remote, destitute parts of the world that, don't speak English or anything like that, and then putting them in Mayo or putting them in, Carlo or something like that. That's what he's talking about there. Okay, he didn't specifically say that because, he's trying to avoid the topic, but that's what he's trying to say there, guys. And that's a travesty. Okay, when people come in, their families, whatever. I was just at a flipping, great time with lots of foreign people in town, absolutely amazing. But when you're taking 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, 20,000 men and putting them in a flipping house all together in the middle of nowhere, paying them €40 for the month, they don't speak English, who's going to hire these people? This is a complete travesty, guys. That's a complete failure of the state. That should not be happening. The EU shouldn't be dictating immigration, mass immigration. The EU should not be doing that, guys. Nobody sensible would agree with that, left or right. Okay, the left definitely agree with that as well, because it's bad on the people. Like I said before, these people are stuck in this place. They can't even work. They can't do shit, guys. These people are not integrated at all. It's a whole travesty. I know Garron doesn't want to specifically specify that, but
fair point in my video, and I stand by that. However, I do agree though that when I'm saying immigration and talking about safety in the same sentence, I need to be very, very specific about what I'm saying. I don't think I was specific enough.
All the flipping immigrants causing a massive increase in crime. They're killing everybody. I mean, the Irish people people kill people, guys. It's the same shit. If you're bringing people in, they have no background checks, yeah, it's going to increase. Absolutely. I mean, there's white gangs. There was a white gang in Dublin. They like branded some guy a rat and shit. Like this all just, it doesn't really matter race specifically, but it's like adding fuel to the fire. You know what I mean? So it is nuanced as hell, but it's just crazy. And just about the Conor McGregor situation, he said that McGregor is hijacking it. Well, McGregor is spreading a good message. It has gotten very dangerous, guys. Whether you like McGregor or not, I'm not trying to convince people to like McGregor. Most people won't like him. I think he's great for his sports achievements, but the message that he was saying was absolutely correct. He said it himself, Garron said.
And I think that a lot of the misinterpretation about that, even though I do think most people understood what I was saying, I do think the misinterpretation is on me. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here all day and go through every point I made in the video and just go on and on about it. People can disagree with me. I encourage that. They should. When you disagree with me, you should post about it. I didn't appreciate the way that I was being made to look by a lot of people and some of the personal attacks, but by all means, disagree with what I said. I may have missed something that I meant to say. This is already a really long video, but I'm going to go back to doing what I normally do, and encourage you to all, chat about whatever you want to chat about. You are delicious. Stay delicious. And follow me. I'm delicious. All the fucking best to you. You're absolute legends. And I don't hate anybody, except the French. That was a joke.
Except the French. I love it. The French, not very friendly people, the French.
Okay, that was a joke. I simply distrust the French.
That's gas. I love it, guys. I love it. Stay delicious, you delicious bastard. You know what I mean? And yeah, of course, guys, County Gains, and the invitation is still open to Garron, to come on, collaborate. I mean, I'm sure he probably won't, because he is, his videos are completely different to my videos. I do music reactions and talk about politics, but yeah, guys, I mean, it's a pretty generic answer if you ask me. I don't think he said anything specifically inflammatory there or anything specifically to explain himself either. I'm going to take it sort of a neutral approach, because he didn't really explain too well what he was trying to say there, but I don't want to be putting words in his mouth. Like, it just seems like, a complete shit show, guys. Like, if you basically speak out against anything in this country, they're just going to shut you down completely. And it's like, dude, you can have opinions on stuff, okay? But like I said, guys, you have to be a professional about it. You can't just be flippant and going crazy and saying shit. He didn't say that, but I'm just saying for people in general, okay, you will get cancelled, okay? Unfortunately, you have to go about it as a professional and analyze things to a point where you can actually, relate the information and articulate the information back to people properly, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed that. I love you all. Good to see you back, you delicious bastards. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to help support me, guys. Push back against the mainstream, as always. We're doing that for the next 4 years. Hit the join link underneath the video, become a member of the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.